welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be budgeting for the second half of June, that is from the 16th to the 30th of June, and the amount that I'm working with is 26,475 rupees. This is the income that I was able to make from my private practice from the 1st of June to the 15th of June. So I always set aside 25% of my private practice income into my business fund. I do not track my business transactions online because I would like to keep that to myself, but 75% of whatever I make from my private practice, I use that money to budget for my day-to-day expenses and for my bills and everything. Firstly, coming to my fixed expenses, I do not have anything to budget for in my fixed expenses because I was able to cover that up in my first budget of the month. I basically try to budget for my fixed expenses in the first half of the month so that the second half of the month becomes easier for me. And then coming to my variable expenses, my food and groceries, I'll budget 2,500 because this seems to be working really good for me. Into my petrol, I won't be budgeting anything now, and that's because I also try to budget my petrol category in my first budget of the month. And this month also I budgeted 3,400 in the first half of the month. 3,400 seems to be working fine for me because I have filled petrol in my car and I still have some money left, so I don't need to budget anything for it this half. And then coming to my expenses category, I will be budgeting 11,000 into this category. And even in my first budget, I budgeted 10,000 rupees into my expenses category, and that was because I had to travel for work. Expenses category covers everything else that I've not budgeted for. Since I do not have any sinking funds for any category right now, so I cover everything from my expenses category. And this half I'm putting 11,000 into my expenses category because I have a car repair coming up. This is a routine car servicing thing that I have to do. Usually it costs around 3,500 or 3,700. I'm hoping that my car servicing and oil change and everything cost around 4,000. I'm expecting that much, and that is why I'm budgeting 11,000 into this category, this half. So when I add this up, it comes to a total of 13,500 rupees. And 13,500 minus 26,475, I have a remaining balance of 12,975 rupees. And then I have this category which I have named as cash flow because this is something that I didn't anticipate, and this is something that I had not planned for or budgeted for, but I had to do another travel. In the month of June I traveled twice. One travel I covered from my expenses category from my first budget, and then there was also another travel that I had to do. I had to go and drop someone off, and that was not planned and I didn't budget anything for it. So what I did was I took out money from my savings and I funded for the travel because that was inevitable and I had to fund for it. So now what I'm doing is I have to refund my savings category because I took money out from that, and that travel cost me 7,610 rupees. And this money I'll be putting back into my savings category. So now if I subtract 7,610 from 12,975, I have a remaining balance of 5,365 rupees. So coming to my savings and financial goals, right now I'm working on my second financial goal, that is to deposit 50,000 rupees into my savings. So if I go back to the month of May, by the end of May, I was able to deposit 45,918 rupees into savings, which means the amount that was left to reach the goal of depositing 50,000 rupees into savings was 4,082 rupees only. And in the first half of June, when I budgeted, I was able to set aside 979 rupees into savings, which means that the amount that's left to reach 50,000 rupees is 3,103 rupees. So now the remaining balance I have is 5,365 rupees. So it means I can put 3,103 rupees into savings. And when I put 3,103 rupees into savings, I have a remaining balance of 2,262 rupees. And this 2,262 rupees I can put into my third financial goal of the year, that is to pay off a personal loan of 13,200 rupees. And that leaves us with a zero balance, and that is my zero based budget. So this makes me happy, and I am excited that now I can work on my third goal. Now as I look back into this budget, if this travel expense was not there, just imagine I would have been able to put around 10,000 rupees into my third financial goal also, and maybe in the first budget of July I would have been able to finish off with this third goal as well. But that's life, and things come up. So that finishes off my budget for the second half of June. I burned myself a few days back from the bee smoker. I've started bee farming, and it's very exciting for me. So yeah, excuse me for this. So that's all that I have for today, and I hope to see you in my next video. Until then, take care and bye bye.